Hello and welcome back to another episode of Injustice For All MMA. My name is David, and this episode is for UFC Fight Night Gamrot V Klein, formerly known as, the card was supposed to be called Blanchfield versus Barber, but that got canceled the last minute. This card is incredibly late. I'm doing this, 3 weeks? I'm so late on these cards right now, but we have to go in order. That's just what it is. This will be pretty quick. First fight of the night, honorable mentions, Santos versus Ardelean. This was 30-27. In the first round, Ardelean outstruck Santos by about 7 strikes. In the second round, she had a takedown and outstruck Santos by 14 strikes. In the third round, she outstruck Santos, this time by about 45 plus strikes. This was interesting. She outstruck her by about almost 40 strikes, possible 10-8, but the only difference here is, the reason why I didn't mark a 10-8 is because Santos was throwing back. Santos was landing occasionally, but Ardelean was just putting numbers on her, so there you have it on that. I didn't give it a 10-8, but you can make an argument for it. Bad judging tonight. Just extremely bad judging tonight all over. You go to the judges' scorecards. Mike Bell, his scorecards correct. 30-27 to Ardelean. Eric Colon, honorable mention. He gives a second. He has it 29-28 to Ardelean. He gives a second round to Santos. I don't know. I don't see that. I don't know what he's watching there. Honorable mention there. And then Sal Diamata. This one's probably the worst scorecard of the night. He gives the first 2 rounds to Ardelean. He gives the last round to Santos. She got outstruck by almost damn near 40 strikes. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know. It makes no sense. But honorable mention to Sal Diamata. That's fucking terrible. Next honorable mention. Oki versus Aswell. I had this 30-27 again. I put a little marker on the first round. It's not close, but I put a little marker because the way the commentary was talking, I just knew that some bullshit was going to happen. And I was right. I was correct once I heard the final scorecards. In that first round, Oki was outstriking Aswell by about 9 strikes. He started off the first 3 minutes by outstriking Aswell pretty well, and then towards the end of the round, Aswell started to occasionally land strikes on Oki while Oki wasn't returning anything. And so the optics of that last minute 30 of the round didn't look good for Oki. It almost looked as though Aswell was catching up on strikes, but he wasn't. Aswell was so ahead that, regardless of what Aswell was doing, Oki won that round. Obviously, the judges disagreed. I'll go to the scorecards in a second. Second round, Oki outstruck Aswell by about 17 strikes, and then the third round, he outstruck Aswell by about 3 to 4 strikes. It was closer on strikes, but it was obvious that that third round there was kind of an ebb and flow system. So it was Aswell was outstriking Oki was outstriking Aswell. Aswell started to outstrike Oki. And then towards the end, Oki started to outstrike Aswell and secure the round for him. You go to the judges' scorecards, and they're just all over. They're just really bad. They're just really bad, in my opinion. Honorable mention to Mike Bell. He gives the last 2 rounds to Oki. He gives the first round to Aswell. The closest round is the last round. Yet he gives the optics of the first round. All 3 judges gave the first round to Aswell. I disagree with that. Mike Bell, Ron McCarthy, and Brian Minner, honorable mention all 3. That's nonsense. They all have it 29-28 for Oki. You go to the next honorable mention. Crazy scorecards here. Crazy on this one. This one really pissed me off, and I know why. Vieira V Chiasson. Before we even get to the fight, This is another reminder, this in the main event, is why the women's divisions are in shambles right now. Okay? There's no clear movement. If you look at first of all, this fight was at 145. When it should have been at 135. If I'm Macy Chiasson, I don't even take the fight. I understand she took the fight. I'm not in her business of money and life and everything. It's fine that she took the fight. This fight is at 145. What happens now is that the division continues to get... It's another block in the division of movement. Now, I know what you're thinking. If you're looking, I don't want to spoil it, but it already got spoiled for me. Kayla Harrison is the champion. And she's probably going to fight Amanda Nunes. But let's say Amanda Nunes wasn't fighting. Macy Chiasson was supposed to be the next person to fight her. Instead, you now have another stopgap where Ketlen Vieira gets this win, and that stops the flow of how this division is supposed to move. And they fought at 145, so it wasn't even a 135 bout. Regardless, Vieira versus Chiasson at this 30-27. It's 30-27. If you have anything different, you're just being emotional. You're not even scoring it correctly. You're not scoring it correctly at all. Okay? 30-27. You go to the first round. Vieira outstruck Chiasson by about 13 plus strikes. At the start of the round, she was getting outstruck a little bit, Vieira was, and then she starts to just push the pace and outstruck Chiasson pretty well by 13 strikes. You go to the second round, Vieira gets a takedown with ground and pound for 3 whole minutes. All right? That's obviously her round. Here's the goofy bit. You go to the third round. Ketlen Vieira gets a takedown and a reversal with ground and pound for 3 minutes. In the last 45 to 30 seconds, Chiasson cuts Vieira from the bottom, gets up, and then chases and lands a couple strikes on Ketlen Vieira for the last 30 seconds. That is not enough to win the round. It's not enough to win the round at all. Let's go to the judges' scorecards. Chris Lieben, honorable mention. He gives the first round to Macy Chiasson. 30-28 to Vieira. He gives the first round to Macy Chiasson. Honorable mention. It's a shit scorecard. Saw the amount of 30-27. That's the only correct scorecard. 30-27 to Ketlen Vieira. In the Mike Bell, he gives the first 2 rounds to Ketlen Vieira. Gives the last round to Macy Chiasson. Why? I don't know. Honorable mention to Mike Bell. It makes no sense. And that's all for anything to highlight on the scorecards. Barber versus Blanchfield was supposed to happen. It gets canceled in the final second. And I remember when obviously I'm doing this 3 weeks ahead. I remember when this happened and someone told me it got canceled. I was just like, oh shit, I can't wait to watch what happened and blah, blah, blah. Then I get the report that she had a seizure. And then I get a clip of Blanchfield just kind of downplaying everything. And I'm thinking to myself, what the fuck? What's going on? I would think they'd be a little more sympathetic about it. We go to the commentary where it happens live for them, and they just gloss over the fact when they get the report that she had a seizure. They just gloss over the report of, man, we feel so bad for Blanchfield. How about Macy Barber, who had a seizure? All the online comments are basically, fuck Barber, fuck Barber. I don't know. Listen, I didn't keep up with the trash talk, so I don't know why they're saying that. But fuck Macy Barber because of some trash talk? Then the comments don't even believe if she had a seizure. Hunter Campbell went in there, or one of the guys went in there, and told Erin Blanchfield that she had a seizure. And Blanchfield's just like, I don't care. Sucks I didn't get to fight. I won't fight her again, which is fine. That's fine because if anything, if she lost this fight, which I don't think she would have, but if she lost this fight, it didn't benefit her. It doesn't even benefit her to win this fight, really. She's fighting down. The next fights that matter for her are Alexa Grasso, which would probably be an easy fight. If you look at it really well, it's probably an easier fight for her. And then Talia Santos. Excuse me, not Talia Santos. Jesus. Natalia Silva, which would probably be the more harder fight for her because she has a problem fighting girls that move a lot and deter takedowns. And also, we haven't seen Natalia Silva in a 5-round fight, so that would be a really interesting fight night. Excuse me. That would be a really, really interesting fight night. But other than that, there's nothing else to talk about on this card. Great submission by Brahimaj. Great knockout by Jacoby. Other than that, it was just a regular fight night with literally no main event. No main event at all. So, there you have it. Thank you all for listening, and God bless.